Did you figure out yet in life that a lot of things are backwards or opposite and in contrary to what we've been taught and conditioned and programmed to believe? So accept a restless mind to be calm. That's kind of paradoxical, right? It's like, don't we got to get rid of the restless mind? Don't I need some spiritual technique or some meditation to or some pill or plant medicine to? I need to subdue the mind. Then I can feel calm. Like, you're telling me to accept it. If I don't do anything, it's going to kill me. That's what the mind says. It's like, you got to get rid of this symptom or this restlessness or anxiety. If you don't, you're going to implode. And then we believe it. And then that creates more panic and more restlessness. And so you see if we accept it, we don't fuel it with self-talk, which then creates more negative emotion. And both of those things, they stimulate the nervous system and restless mind even more. See, if we don't do that, we just, okay, I have restless mind. I'm just thinking about a bunch of stuff. Maybe I haven't slept for only a couple hours, and I haven't eaten, and it's just, okay, this is the moment. This is what it is. Okay. You got to do something. No, I'm good. It's cool. You're not good. Yeah, I know I'm not, but I'm good with that. It's all good. Have that self-talk if you're going to have self-talk. I remember, I like the story also of Gandhi when, this is a good example of opposite. He drove out a powerful nation like the Europeans, and they didn't even fight. Imagine? They didn't even fight. God wanted to use him as an example to show you don't need to fight violence with violence. Now, did their non-violence cause them to get hurt? Yeah, it did. That was a weird part where the guy, it was like the general ordered the army to open fire, remember, on all the Hindus. Just open fire on a bunch of unarmed people. Yeah, that was crazy. But shortly after, that was like the climax though. After that, the soldiers they were stuck. They're like, whoa. They just felt what it felt like to just kill innocent people. They're like, I'm not doing this anymore. And they left. They're like, you won. I don't know how you won, but you guys won somehow. That was it. Then they tried it. They tried the nonviolence on for other group of people, and it didn't work. See, we don't know. We got to listen to the moment. We got to, God's running this show. Now, if I have a restless mind, does that mean I don't look at my life though and see, like, am I doing things that are causing and contributing to having like a restless nervous system that in turn causes the restless mind? Maybe I got to look at my diet, my relationships. Am I voluntarily in relationships that's causing stress, which is going to make my mind restless? Now, see, if I am, the restless mind, I'm not going to get much of a remedy for. Why? Because it's my karmic lesson to not be engaged in these relationships or these habits. You see, like, if that's my lesson to stop doing something that's not good for me, and I don't stop doing it, well, then the pain's going to probably keep increasing, or the restlessness. So then I need to stop doing it. So we also you gotta use introspection and be intelligent. You can't just you see how the mind can use even spiritual principles as a means of justification. It's like the mind doesn't want to stop doing the habit. So then it says, wait, I heard the video. He says, just accept it. Just accept your pain and restlessness. Ah, cool. Then I can continue with this habit. That's really the source of my problem. I'll just continue doing that because I don't want to stop doing it. And then I'm going to practice just accepting the pain. See, that won't work. Now, there's some things where it's like not a result of a certain habit or thing that you're doing. It's just there's some energy that's being released inside. There's some karma there, and then that's making your mind restless. Those are the situations where you have to accept it. Like if you have a health, like people who I have my other channel, True Health. Those are hard situations. They can be. If you have certain mental health imbalances, emotional imbalances, you're just like you could you could just stay out here all the time, and still those imbalances will be there. They could even get worse because you're not being distracted by sense stimulation out in the world. So actually, it could get worse. But anyway, when you have some true karmic things like that, you got to use both techniques. That's why I share practical and spiritual. Practical, if you have some intense situation, let's say restless mind, let's say you're working somewhere. Like I used to sell cars like 20 years or more ago. 20 years. That was a stressful place, man. I'm there with with a group of guys who were just not talking what we're talking here, talking the opposite. And on top of that, I had a nervous system sensitivity. And on top of that, the managers are just always putting stress. That's a stressful situation. I needed to leave there, but I couldn't at the time. It wasn't proper. It wasn't the thing to do. I needed also to make money. I just couldn't leave. So I shared this. I'd walk around with pages that I took out of spiritual books, and I would just keep repeating that and looking at that and reading that, trying to saturate my mind and get it, trying to activate this higher self that's not affected by the stress. But it would have been easier to do if I was out here. So the practical level was to get out of that job, which I did later finally. Spiritual level was reading these things or praying or whatever. So you got to do both. Both is best. This is the whole imbalance part about a lot of non-dual speakers is they just talk about nothing's real. And they don't believe themselves what they're saying. It's almost like they're trying to make themselves, they think if they say that long enough, they're going to make themselves believe that. So then they project in the future. They're like, okay, one day I'm going to believe that. So that means maybe I believe it now. Okay, so I can make videos telling you just to do what I'm trying to do. And so it's authentic. No. Anybody that doesn't touch on both levels, they're just not balanced themselves. It means either you have suppressed stuff that you're not looking at and you're just trying to non-dual it away, or life hasn't hit you yet, hit you with a circumstance or situation to where then you'd have actual living experience and wisdom, and then you couldn't tell somebody that. I've seen a video before with these people. They'll have a consult, they'll tape their consult, or some kind of satsang, and they just, no matter what the person says, they just keep throwing it back and saying, but it's not really real. It's just a concept. That's just apparent. Blah, blah, blah. But when they say that, they're not speaking with any kind of real vibration. And I don't feel any genuine compassion or love or empathy or anything. It's just like this robot that's just, it's not real. It's apparent. My friend Yari, she likes making fun of that stuff. I like hearing it. It brings balance. It gives balance somehow. Why? It's like God will play the role of being super, like, just one-sided and imbalanced in a certain way. Let's say YouTube videos, people that make YouTube videos doing that. Then God will play as the audience that pokes them and makes fun of them. See, God's balancing his own self. That's how I see it. And there's some freedom in that. Like if I'm talking to a friend that he's on the level, yeah, we also make fun, but we don't do it in a cynical, arrogant way. Like, oh, I'm high level. Let's make fun of lower level people so then we can feel more high level. No, it's like we're making fun of ego because it's ego. It's unconsciousness. It needs to be made fun of. And it feels good. It's like balanced, you know. God's always trying to balance itself in this realm of duality. Because it's duality, right? It's balance. I made a video. Spiritual awakening is a balance between non-duality and duality. When you accept your restless mind, let's get back to the topic. Accept even if you can't accept it. This is the first thing that's going to happen. When you're like, yeah, I'm going to practice this principle. I'm going to accept my restless mind. Next time I get restless. Oh, I'm restless. Okay, I remember, hey, he said accept it. Okay, I accept it. Uh-oh. I'm still restless. This sucks. I don't want it. Okay, accept it. You got to keep accepting everything. Accept the self-talk, the program, the tendency and instinct that says it doesn't want to feel this way. Accept that. At the same time, take care of yourself. Go for a walk. Go to the sauna. Go be alone. Go watch a spiritual video to give you some kind of strength that coincides with this principle that you're trying to activate and realize more. You know, be smart. Don't go eat an ice cream cake or, you know, go do some addiction or habit or smoke weed to just make it go away. Then it doesn't transcend. It just goes back down, and then you're going to have to deal with it again. This life is about like transcending as much limitation that we can. So then it's like at some point we hit some critical point, and the transcendence, you can say, is exponential. It's like everything gets thrown into this fire. You're not even doing it anymore. You see things clear, and you cannot not see things clear. You're even trying to find, like, God, can I find a way out somehow? Like, can I go back into delusion a little bit? No, just to take the edge off. It's like, no, you're just seeing things now. That's an auspicious place to be. It might feel like you're in a fire when that's happening, but so be it. It's temporary. Don't call the non-dual oaks. They'll tell you the fire don't exist. And you might want to hurt them. And that will create more resentment that you need to burn. Talk to people who understand, who've been there, who understand this stage. They can support you. That's another thing, another tool. That's why God's created a bunch of different beings, so we can support each other. But maybe sometimes if one of those people aren't there for you, that's auspicious too. God wants you to see that you actually have the strength in you, yourself, to transcend this. He may make it to where nobody's available that day. Can't get a hold of anybody. You're like, oh man, what am I going to do? Start panicking. And then just remember, wait a minute, God and I are a majority. I'll make a video on that too. God and I are a majority. And then something settles. You're like, okay, God, purify me. I'm in a purification fire right now. Help me bear it. Help me go through that. And then that restlessness, which is just energy, accumulating energy, that'll start to, you can say, transmute, start to alchemize into some nice, feeling. But don't wait for that or expect that. Even if it doesn't happen, say, okay, whatever. This whole show's running itself. We got to cooperate with it, though. It's the resistance that causes the problems to continue. So we resist it, but that's natural. We can't help that. Accept that. Accept you can't help it. You can't help resisting this and wanting it to go away. When you accept that, then that will go down too. And don't take it even personal if you feel you're accepting something, don't take credit for it. Yeah, now I'm accepting. Now I'm doing the spiritual principle right. No, that's grace helping you. Give everything, all the credit to God or grace. So then there's no you left that wants to take credit for something or to complain about something. You see, it's not about just not complaining. Remember, duality. You also don't get attached or identify with the one that's, oh, I'm free now. See all the videos, my spiritual awakening story? Osho told him once, the interview person was going through a list of all these people, Mother Teresa, all the greats, Mother Teresa and Yogananda. And anyway, he asked Osho, so what do you think about Yogananda, autobiography of a yogi? Osho's like, no yogi has an autobiography. He'd purposely just, he liked to just make trouble, But there's truth in that. Yeah, who's left to want to share about your story? It's okay. It's okay. You can share about the story. But again, it's about the vibration when you're sharing about it. You can sense, is there identity in that person's mind who's sharing about the story? Like, look what I did. I'm liberated now. You see, is that coming out? That's the thing you got to catch. All right, to see who